I'm Elizabeth at A Literary Princess. If you are new here, welcome. I'm a 6-year PhD candidate in English literature with a focus on Victorian women novelists. And as you might expect, I love to read. Today I have my February TBR for you. I am participating in 2 events for February. The first is FebRegency, hosted by a whole bunch of people. Tristan from Tristan and the Classics, Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space, Stephanie from Miss Richards Reads, and Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia. And FebRegency is all about reading books from the Regency era, which is usually broadly defined as 1795 to 1837, although technically the Regency of whatever one he was was only like from 1811 to 1820. It is named after when the Prince of Wales had to become regent for his father George, whichever number he was, who was not mentally able to rule. Anyway, and also you can kind of push the Regency out to like the 1780s. Playing with time and like pushing dates is just, especially in academia, we do it all the time. We're like, the long 19th century, and we're talking about 1785. So, you know. Anyway. So that is one event, and then the other event is one that I am continuing to participate in. That is the Robinson Readalong, hosted by Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading. So, we will start with the FebRegency books, and then we will go from there. Let's jump in. So I've got 3 books that I'm reading for FebRegency, and the first is one that I got out of my university library, and this is Zofloya by Charlotte Dacre. Am I pronouncing any of this right? I don't know. I have no idea. So this is a Gothic novel from 1806. And I have listened to an academic presentation on it and was like, that sounds interesting. So I just happened to see it in the university library while I was going to look for a George Eliot book, actually. And so I decided, hey, I'll pick that up for FebRegency. And it's a nice Broadview edition, and I love Broadview editions. It's also not the last Broadview edition you're going to be seeing in this video. So what is this about? I have no idea. We've got a main character named Victoria, who wants to seduce, torture, and murder somebody. Okay, Victoria's my kind of gal. That's really all it says on the back. It's not particularly helpful, to be honest, but okay. You'd think I'd know what it was about since I listened to a whole presentation on it, but no, I don't remember. It is historical fiction, so the full title is Zofloya or the Moor, a romance of the 15th century, in 3 volumes. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see where this goes. Victoria sounds like a fun protagonist, and I'm always up for a good Gothic story. And Charlotte Dacre is someone who I've been meaning to read for a while. So this seemed like a good time before I lose access to my university library and all of the wonderful things therein. Next up is one that if I have time I will get to it, but if not I'll be reading it for Jane Austen July. This is The Woman of Color by Anonymous. It is the story of Olivia Fairfield, who is a mixed race heiress from the West Indies, and she is going to England to fulfill the condition of her father's will that she marry her cousin in order to inherit her fortune. I've been wanting to read this for a while too. I've also seen presentations on this, and It might have been on a TBR at some point last year and I just didn't get to it. I don't remember. But I'm excited. You don't often see main characters of color in 19th century books, so this is going to be interesting. This was also 1806? 1808. Really shouldn't have been that hard to find that. Anyway, I'm really interested to get to this one, so if it doesn't happen this month, it will happen in July. Now for some nonfiction. This is The Social Life of Books, Reading Together in the 18th Century Home by Abigail Williams. So this is not just about the Regency, it covers the entire 18th century. So it is also for my 18th century novel project. I figured that a book about books for the project about novels would be really interesting to pick up. And since part of the Regency is the end of the 18th century, I'd say this counts for this read-along. So, and this is exactly what the title says. It's about how people read together in that time frame. I'm really interested to get to this one. I have it as an ebook from my university library. Again, it's another one that I'm like, well, better read it now. So, I'm definitely interested. I've heard really good things about it from some other people, so I'm excited. That is it for FebRegency, but since I just talked about something that was for both FebRegency and the 18th century novel project, I figured I would move into my 18th century novel for the month, and that is Love and Excess by Eliza Haywood, published in 1719. Another Broadview edition. All of the physical books I have today are Broadview editions. So my understanding of this is that it's kind of scandalous, or, you know, scandalous for 1719. The back doesn't say much, other than it's a well-crafted novel in which the claims of love and ambition are pursued through multiple storylines until the heroine engineers a melodramatic conclusion. So it certainly sounds fun. I've not read anything by Haywood, so I'm interested to get to her as well. And then for the Robinson read-along, we are reading Home, the second book in the Gilead series. This is following some characters who were introduced in Gilead: the Reverend Robert Boughton, his daughter Glory, and his son Jack, who is kind of like a prodigal son figure. I don't know much about it other than that. I don't really want to know much about it other than that. I've learned a little bit about these characters where I am so far in Gilead, but not a whole lot. So I'm kind of happy to just go in only knowing what I know right now and just enjoying Robinson's beautiful writing. And I'm hoping I'll be able to get this one out of the library, which will be open in February, as opposed to closed like it is right now in January for renovations. Yeah. Like, I get it. I get it. You need to renovate the building, fine. But I'm like, it was an inconvenient time when I had a book coming in on hold and then all holds were canceled. Anyway, that doesn't matter for this video. Home by Marilynne Robinson. Very interested to see where this series continues on. And the final book on my February TBR is Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett. This is being released mid-February, I think on the 11th. I'll be buying it on my Kindle. This is the third book in the Emily Wilde series, following the title character, Emily Wilde, who studies fairies. She is a professor at Cambridge or Oxford. I think it's Cambridge, but I don't actually remember. And she had this kind of academic rivals to romance with Wendell Bambleby, something like that. I'm not looking it up. It's an insane name. Who is also a professor studying fairies, but is a fairy as well. Spoilers for the first book. So I can't wait to see can't wait to see where this goes next. I have loved this series so far. It's so cozy, but also creepy. Like, Fawcett makes the fairies creepy, as they should be. So I like that it feels cozy, but there's also a lot of darkness in it. And I can't wait to see where their romance goes next, because they are very much like Howl and Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. And I love that dynamic so much. This is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and I just can't wait. I'm so excited for it. So that is my February TBR. Let me know down in the comments below. Have you read any of these? What did you think? What events are you participating in this February, and what are you reading for them? If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my bookish content. It has been great chatting with you. I will see you soon. Bye.